Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium. This is episode 8 of our playthrough. Last episode, we found the dice maker up in the attic of that building at the bookshop. The bookshop lady's clearly nuts. She still thinks it's some sort of entity ruining her business, but whatever. It was just a lady making dice, which we've ordered a dice for, that pick up the dice from the dice maker. We asked for a dice to be made like the role-playing game that we saw invented in that building. What else did we do yesterday? We found our letter. So I don't know if you remember from one of our earlier episodes, our ledger. Sorry, let me find it. Our ledger, so the thing that we found in the trash, had a secret compartment and we couldn't get into it. Anyway, we had upped our skills and we managed to get into it, and it had a letter, and it was pretty much a letter saying, I love you, you're the best, you're my life, yada yada yada, addressed to him, we believe, and his name's Harry, we believe. Nothing's confirmed yet, because if you look at here, it still says name unknown. But anyway, so the letter was pretty much saying, you're the best, you're my life, I love you. And then he blacked out. And the darkness took him. Now, I assumed that I'd failed again, because it kept giving you the options to stop reading. But we didn't do that. And we woke up. Kim, our trusty Kim sidekick, he took us to the car and woke us up. But now the ledger is the ledger of failure and hatred. This is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse somehow. It makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, and not wanting to get out of bed in the morning. Note, mouse over item to see effect. Now, Inland Empire 1, Empathy 1, -2 to a 3. Now, the thing is, though, the letter doesn't specify whether it's an ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend, or if the person writing the letter died. Like, there's no clarity as to why it brings such sadness, whether it's due to the loss of a loved one dying or no longer having that loved one in your life. So there's still a big unknown about this here. Apart from that, we're not working on any of these at the moment, because all of them are minus negative to something, and I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know why you would do these, because all of these ones are plus. I just don't know. Any clarity in the comments would be great as to why you would do the negative ones. Maybe we should do just a short one and see. We'll do this one, only an hour and a half. Unlock a new slot. Oh, unlockable. Oh, well, never mind then. Disregard. We won't do any of these ones. Okay, so our task for today, it is, what time is it? It's 8:34. So, alright, we're still got to find the murder weapon. We smell like death because of the autopsy. We have to find out who put the clothes in the thing. We still got to find out a secret passage behind that blue door, which I thought was a fridge, but apparently not. We've got some people to interview. We've got a photo of the victim's tattoos. We've already requested Alice to, from precinct 40, precinct 51, 59, wherever Kim's from, to run the armor serial number, which the victim was in. We've got to interview more people about the armor. We've got to find our own gun and our badge. Find out who's in the union box. We might be able to do that now, because that was open after an end of day briefing with Kim after 10. We might go that one now, because the in the whirling rags, there was that room which was reserved for union members.
Officer. How are things?
Sorry, I'll finish my thought. There was that room that was reserved for union members, open after a certain time. So maybe we'll go in there. The body is gone. Like gone, the girl repeats her face beating with appreciation. It was sent to processing in the morgue. I'm glad to hear it. A quick smile. Thank you, officer. It looks like I'll get mint in the ground by April. Cool. I thought we might be able to ask her about the tattoos or the photos, but
Hello again, officer.
we need
How are
directions.
things?
Do you know where I would find the representative for the Wild Pines? You mean the company woman? Yes, a representative of the harbour. She should have set up operations nearby. Oh, that must be the woman on the giant boat. She points northwest. There's one docked on the pier. It arrived a couple of weeks ago. It's very hard to miss. No problem. She nods, brushing a fleck of salt off her cheek. Composure. She's very well composed, back straight. Okay. Alright, cool. There's just closed for winter. Please use main entrance. Oh, sorry. There's just so much in this game. I'm really loving it. I love the depth of it. I've never played like a Dungeons and Dragons type game. But let me know if this is like the depth that it would go into, where you build your character in certain ways and things like that. Because I'm really, really enjoying it. A lot of me talking, which I'm sorry for. But okay, there's a few more people here now. A lot more people. Let's get a chatting. Oh, we'll talk to Kim first. I want to talk about you. No, there's nothing there. No, that's fine. Nothing new there. Tell me about the case again. We don't need to do that. Okay, good. Kim's all up to date.
Hello again, sweetie.
I don't feel like any of that is necessary. Like we talked about last episode, maybe it was the episode before. In these games, like, games like Skyrim or, the Outer Wilds or Fallout or whatever, you click on every dialogue option, Mass Effect, to get information. But in this one, if you do that, it may block off options for you, so I'm reluctant just to click on everything. So, which I like. I like that. It requires some thought. Here we go. What's this? Electrochemistry. The surgery black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Not now. Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do with the lust for sweet syrup, rum and lemonade with a twist of lemon? Maybe lime? Maybe who cares? Just rum? Finished thought. I'm trying to avoid the alcohol because A, it destroyed us. It's, the fact that we blackout drunk means that this investigation is so much harder. But also, I don't want to let Kim down. Kim's been looking out for us, so it's all about money, so I don't want to let Kim down. Alright. We're not gonna do the karaoke. Let's talk to Gart.
Can I help you?
Another thing about the whirling. No, there's nothing there. About the money I owe you. How much do I owe you again? 100 real. I've got 7. But I've got to pay the dice lady. Hers costs 7. So we've got to make sure we do that. I don't want to let her down either. Remember, I'm the sorry cop. Let's have a chat to the chef again. Do you know what's behind the blue door? He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Composure. Shrugging is an international sign for no. I don't know what's behind that door. Okay. Alright, well that's fine. Let's see. Can we not get in there? Apparently not. Alright. That was going to be my next step. Find them, perform events and using hand-eye coordination. So I need to increase hand-eye coordination, which I haven't done yet, and then that may allow us to examine the bullet again. Oh. Oh, wow, okay. Let's do this then. So we found a similar rifle. We found that in the basement of the bookshop. You're aware of the name of the antique rifle you found. And so this is said to come from a breech loader. A rifle. Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46mm from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or retrofitted antique. The 4.46 caliber was widely used as a Bell McGrave rifle, a revolt Chilean manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields on the Insulindian theatre of the Anticentennial Revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you've just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area is unusably sad. It's unusable. It's unusable. You can do this, Jason. You have mastered the English language somewhat. It is unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber. Is anyone still making these rifles? No, but the Zyliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there's still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling. Who uses Bell McGrave rifles these days? Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky gem rock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order. The lieutenant jots something down in his notebook. What are you thinking, Bullet? I know where this came from. Okay, and the shot probably came from a Bell McGrave rifle. An antique, that makes sense. There can't be many breech loading rifles floating around in Martinique or anywhere in Revolche, really. It's probably a good thing. He nods. I've had to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realise it's worth it in the end. Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loading rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralists International in all the nations of the Real Belt. Worth what? Getting shot? I think we should have more powerful guns. Makes things every shot. I like it. Imagine if everyone, cop citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second and the third, so on, come much easier. But back to the investigation. Could the look for an antique? Could the victim be mixed up with foreign guerrilla fighters? Have a well-armed gem rock bangers started crossing over to Martinique? Well, it's a pretty Martinique is pretty neglected from what we've learned. Maybe let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself. Okay, cool. So, locate a working firearm that shoots. Okay, well that's fine. What else can we do? Should we go and interview? Let's head to find out who's in the union box. They're not here today. Oh, they're not here today, but mostly they'll eventually. Okay, so maybe this is the box, the union box in the whirling ranks. Maybe they're not there today. Let's go and wash up if we can. I don't want that to end the day though, because we still need to talk to Kim at 10 o'clock. You gonna come in, Kim? Yeah, okay. Please don't judge me, Kim. Kim tries not to look at your broken down bathroom door. Empathy. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of tape viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner, but it's all too morbid to ignore. Suburb fare. The main is finding it hard not to trip on the tape. And not to send any of the bottles rolling across the floor. Endurance. Where unidentified sludge makes it hard for him to breathe, smell of vomit is in here. We're sorry, Kim. No problem, officer. He takes a step towards the door, like he'd like to leave. Sorry, Kim. We're just going to have a quick... The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 o'clock. Okay, no time to rest yet. Alright, well that's good to know. Let's have a quick bath. No. Oh, that's right. Know the origin. So that's where we tried to change our face. We are not... Oh, okay. -10 tool not in hand. Don't know why chain cutters would be there. What do you reckon? 58? God damn it. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber. Okay. Well, we don't need that in our hand anymore. I do like that it gives you that indication of where the penalties are coming from. Alright. Kim, I think we're done in here. If I can't have a bath, then there's no point us being here. Sorry about the room. Alright, what's our next one then? So 9 o'clock is when everyone goes to bed. We can't pay for damages. Keep certain we can't do that. Go to the harbour gates. So there's a few things down at the harbour that we need to talk about. Let's do that. We'll go to the harbour. It's getting late. That's what I'm mindful of. How much we can actually get done before everything kind of wraps up. So low on health, put points into endurance. Alright, so we're done with you. We spoke to you earlier. Let's see if you've got any update.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
We did this last time, the first time, and that's how I died. So we're not going to do that. Not going to ask for any money either. Can we... Okay, let's have a look. Horseback monument. An old monument stands in the middle of a traffic island, pointing towards the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secure and mounted in the air with aid of numerous ropes and rods. Who is this? A silver plaque on the statue reads, I am Philippe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of Philippian kings of Revolche, son of Philippe II, the opulent, father of Philippe IV, the insane. Perception. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Encyclopedia. What indentations? What do I see? Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted a cuirass around where the heart is. A bullet. Someone shot at him in the heart. Interesting. Lieutenant, so someone shot the king? Okay, he cleans his glasses before looking up. I can't see it, but I'll take your word for it. What do you think? Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. The place saw a lot of action during the revolution, but the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke, target practice, or a political statement. It's a king, and he's shot. Why not? What this shows us, guns aren't too uncommon here, and the people will still shoot them, sometimes at kings. 58 still. What did this king do? Even by standards of Philippian king, old sumptuous Philippe was known by his profligacy. In what way? Well, he blew through whole national treasury, starting with the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the Suzerain of Revolcho. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution and end to his family line and the monarchy of the Insulindian Aola. How did he manage to blow through the entire treasury? Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrand, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Soul Orium. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on huge piles of gold drip feathers. like some obscene, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed like a normal person. There's no way that's true. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. The what now? You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. A bloated druggie. That's what the revolutionary said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains into the Indian Bay. What's nose candy? We'll ask. Cocaine. That's fine. There's a lot to process. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. Okay, where is he buried now? Beneath the cold water of the Indian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. What happened to the statue? The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn of the century revolution, when Martinique was levelled. Encyclopedia. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it even finer pieces. Who restored it? Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruling revolte in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber floating on a sea of shit. It's brilliant. I do like that. People in Martinique tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young Irenaeus. Philippe III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of human death. Rhetoric. Not that he ever did in life either. Okay. A little bit of backstory there. It must be hard as a bold slogan, Humanox. It must be difficult as a creator, author, storyteller to create an entire universe. I was thinking about this the other day. If you write a novel, or a story, or create a game or whatever, you've got the laws of the world. Like, you've kind of got a lot set out for you in modern day, the world, government and things like that. But in something like this, obviously there's a lot of things adopted from reality, maybe history. Disco is still a thing, but the cat towns and stuff are made up. But to create all this history and the connections and the societies, it must be quite a challenge. It takes quite an imagination and creativity, I think, to do this kind of thing, especially if you're creating, like, imagine if this was an alien planet, or in the future, a million years or whatever. You've got to create a whole new set of laws and things like that. So I don't really know where I was going with that. Just a bit of acknowledgement. Congratulations and thank you to those who create games and the skill that it must take. I envy you. I do not have creativity. It is not a skill of mine. But yeah, I think it's incredible. The small wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched to her hand and there's a warm smile on her face. Encyclopedia. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. To me, I'd like to ask you some questions. No response. Whatever this woman is, your world fails to reach her.
Wait.
The lieutenant stops you before you can snap.
She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Alright. We'll take your word. Kim, we trust you. Do not lead us astray. Alright, what else? Oh, did we click on these things? Or was that? Yeah, we did. I was too busy talking. We went down here before. There's nothing else here. I thought this was the way to the harbour. Or maybe this way. Because we still... A foreign car kept in good... Because we still don't have a map. We haven't picked one up yet. Alright, let's keep plodding along. What do we got down here? The lorries probably stored fuel there. Now they store booze. Let's see who we can just interact with. I'm just running my mouse over people. Kim. This big guy here. That looks like it's about... Oh, and this man or woman up here. Let's have a look. It says GRIH, the Greater Revolche Industrial Harbour. Alright, let's have a chat to this big guy.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbour gates. His voice is loudest of the lot, and old screechy for a man of his size.
Pull up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's full head taller than everyone
Here
else
to
here.
fuck with us? Be the honest worker down?
Why should I?
We're to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
I'm thinking
Good.
no.
We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps the people see us talking. Cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of causes are we talking
Rights
about?
of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases. Regardless,
Maybe you should ask them the question. Like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, scab.
The loitering man hollows in return. What exactly is your goal here? We're promised work, he points to the gates. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. And you're unable to breach the entrance? Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try in through the secretary's office. He points to says, door's locked. The guard's blocking the way into the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mesquite punk either. I mean head monsieur or whatever he is. What's a head measurer? Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him. How bad could one bugger? You seem capable. Bad. The man glares at you. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantaged position, and he's trained. I don't know how Union has trained killer up there, but that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters. Why don't you just talk to them? Like civilized folk, you mean? The man rubs his chin. These native fucks don't understand civilized. It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway. No, they will give up eventually or get drunk, leave the button unguarded, then we charge. The man rubs his jaw, a perfect light-bearded square wedge. Alright, you need to speak to the union boss. Have fun. Union shits are all on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. Why do you want to meet that fat asshole? Interviewing people. Official matters not to be discussed with outsiders. Right to work. He again shakes his large fist, then turns back to you. It's shameful, cops doing nothing. You should bring backup, open the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime. Not my area of expertise. We're not picking a side in this just yet, sir. Pity. He turns around. Let us work. Who are all these strike breakers? Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interest. The man runs a hand through his steadily greying military haircut. We came here to help the harbour run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let those who do want work. I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership? You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No, they follow because the rules of the market, the rules of economy, because they were given a job to do. What is a strike? We'll just ask. When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide honest work from other people. What do the strikers want? Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights while we, he raises a fist and starts shouting, have the right to work. Composure. There's something on in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of attire seem ill-fitting. What does that mean? His shirt is far too small and unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls held up by a belt seem to be a man with much more corpulence. You wearing new clothes? He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Rhetoric. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. Reaction speed. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something off with this guy. Ask him where he's from. Where are you from? What's it to you? Curiosity, going to forget this, right? Routine. Routine, part of the investigation. Am I a suspect? Done no crimes, only fight for the rights of the people. Already got that. I'm interested in your background. Well, we're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain in Jamrock. Background in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Bouncer, where I frequent a lot of bars. Maybe it's one I know. I don't really drink, but work has taken me to some. Here we go. Worked at Territorial, ring a bell. Not right now, but I might have been there. I don't really remember things well. Ugh, it was a long time ago. I don't know. What do you reckon? I don't reckon he's part of the workers. He's been hired or something to come in and...
Scab?
Asked the man with the jolly eyes, tilting his head. Rhetoric. You're hazy on the notion of scab. It smells like politics, though maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time. What exactly?
A
We'll
kind
ask
of a
him.
worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
You don't seem to like
Gotta
them
be
much.
bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess, scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
He looks at the mess, squinting his eyes as if trying to ascertain what they're scared of.
Personally, I'd rather beg than Scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Have you tried
We've
talking to
explained
them?
the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Logic. Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs. I'm not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop Scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
He chuckles, then realizes.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the wild north? Come to see the strife?
Hey, you're the man in the boots at the gates. Kuno said... I need to get past the gate to speak with your boss. A bit short on money right now. Can you give me some... What's this strike about anyway? You know, serious business. I'm sure Big Boss would be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first. Rhetoric. He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. It just can't break command structure and tell you now. Hey, you're the main bit. Kuno said you know about the armor. Heh, the little boya did good on his promise. His promise to get me in trouble, to sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words, not mine. What happened? I was asked to look into the armor situation. Official union probe, you know, track it down, see who took it. Did you? At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike, buy us a few days under the sun, you know. So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right there and then, and it still got me in trouble. One bad move is all it takes. The probe into the armor, what did you learn? I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor. What else? Not much, technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. So Kuno used us to what, scare you? It's a minor nuisance, it's all good. He contemplates taking a swig from his flask. What sort of technical stuff? I did some research into the armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library, he explained with a wry smile. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off. How does it come off? In parts, 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still in the guy, the last I saw. Too hard to remove. So as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle, more like a job for some militia. 4 pieces of armor up for grabs then, but I already sent the boots away. The jolly man shrugs. I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least. What about the leggings? Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore if they ever did at all. He gives a jolly shrug. Forget about them. I did. I'm going to find one piece of one is enough. Nice and balanced. The lieutenant nods. Some junior officers can take care of the rest. Find one armor piece. Okay. So we've reduced our workload from 4 to 1. 1, yeah. Work smarter, not harder. Sorry about that. Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armored to. The one that the bullet hits. Getting the hangman boots. Good luck if you goes for those boots though. You have an easier time wresting off the spurs off the Boiderio than getting them off. Thank you for your cooperation. No problem. He finally takes a sweep in the flats. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Manana. Thank him for showing me the way. I need to get past it to speak with your boss. Oh, good. What matters do you have discussed with Everett? Miller talks suspicious activity in the harbour. How very troublesome, yet take a look around. Strikers, protest scabs, isn't it all very suspicious? Does it mean you can let me through the gate? I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. He takes a swing point up the stairs. The passage grants itself. If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way? That's simple. I just walk in, walk past Measurehead and go in. Past Measurehead? Yeah. The 2.5 meter tall, Seminese Supremist there. Walk right past him. Right. And then press the button to unlock the door. And then go past him again. Okay. And then you enter the harbour through the office. Esther. So you were saying it's actually quite difficult. Don't worry. I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation. That's not happening. Or you can convert to his Seminese Supremist world of the view. Or maybe actually it's completely impossible. Has any of the scab tried converting to his worldview? Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Has anyone ever bested him in physical confrontation? Not yet, no. He fixes his eyes on evaluating your prowess. He's incredibly strong. Cool. Alright, let's go and have a chat to... It's 9:32. A notice. In case of strike, press the button behind guard. A hermetically sealed door locked by electronic means. There's no lock equipping this door or kicking this one in. Okay. Let's have a talk to this guy, the Seminese guy. And then we'll just weigh it up from there. We'll try not to anger him.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
What do you mean my body betrays my degeneracy? Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He looks at
It
you.
must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm and sandwiched. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
What do you mean my body betrays my
You have
degeneracy?
succumbed to Al-Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust as if he was smelling a dead
You
rat.
reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, alcohol?
Yes, Al-Ghul.
He means alcohol. Oh,
I
understood.
doubt it. My microcephalic race, so.
You're right. I mean, I need to enter the
No,
harbour.
you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
I'm not going to step closer because I don't want to die. The race stuff is unimportant here. I just need your help for me to do my
Begging
job.
for help. Attempting to pass via for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Measurehead's babe. Interfacing. There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbour. Alright, I reckon you're right about all this. Now I just need to let me go into the
Enough
harbour.
with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Seminole Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality called art, and your microcephalic skulls.
Rhetoric. There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meher's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. Wouldn't that mean I have to become the Seminese supremacist myself? Well, yes. Why? Don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you're not Seminese? You can be anything. 17% to knock him out. Isn't Everett the union boss white? Don't be vulgar. White or not, he's got little to do with this racial enigma. Runs much deeper than that. He turns eyes towards the harbour, seemingly bored with you. I'm sorry, of course, I understand. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, which is something your race, naive communists, never did. Enough of this. Let's ask me about the mug. He does not so much glance at the object. Know anything about this? Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. He had nothing to do with it. Alright, we're going to leave it for now.
The harbor. There's an interview to conduct. There must be another way.
These guys wanted the whirling roof in the yard. Try the jump. Up there on the roof. It'll be worth it, else there's little chance to figure out the way to deal with the man. I don't want to become the racist. Get the boots off the victim's feet. Kuno lied to you. Return to confront him. How did he lie? Alright. I think what we might do, we'll head back to the Whirling Rag. And actually, let's confront Kuno quickly. Actually, oh, Fritte. 3 T's, how idiomatic. We haven't, let's see. They keep talking about this place. A melancholy pop song plays on the radio. Knick-knack stands. You see several packages, raincoats filled low shelf beneath the display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritte slogan on the back. Interfacing. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easy to take unnoticed. No need to worry. Alright, we could buy one. 1 to endurance. we need the seven reel for the dice lady. The tar machine stands in the corner. Sends one bottle. What is this machine? The clerk looks up. Oh, that's the tar machine. But yes, what is it? It's a machine for tar or tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and you put it in the machine. Then it gives you money. And how do I pick it up? You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out. So she shrugs awkwardly. Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there. Okay, so it's like a way to get money. Hello.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
She returns to a magazine. What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this?
She looks at the cover, boasting colourful photo of two girls
This
kissing.
is Pop Stars. It's got like famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Composure. Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you. Figure out all that. What's this fashion police feature?
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
Who's the numero uno guy there right now?
Anita. She's a model. Usually it's a model. Or a singer-songwriter. Or a model.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Before we go...
I don't know. Frit.
And what is Frit?
A 7-11 grocery store.
Why is it written with 3 T's?
I think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
Encyclopedia. The story goes to the normal Frit with 2 T's. A men's workwear shop in Vertefort was already taken. So when Frite Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to avoid trademarking. Let's add some questions for you.
Okay, I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Does Frit have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling and Rags? A warehouse? I don't know, maybe. I don't really care what Frit does. This is important. She scrunched her face into an expression of consummate adolescent skepticism. Fine. Frit does have a warehouse, just a little back room here, okay? She turns back to a magazine without waiting for you to respond. Can you tell me anything about the dead body? I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it. Do you know the man who died? Not really. Not really. Does it mean you knew him a little? No, I didn't know him at all. How long has it been there? I don't know. Really long? What do you think happened? I don't know. No need to worry. The lieutenant voice is soothing professional. It's a standing procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay? Okay. Alright. Thanks for nothing. Alright. Let's... What are we at? Almost 50 minutes. Let's wrap it up there. And then when we come back, we'll be able to have our debrief with Kim. Alright, that's a good idea. So thanks very much for watching. If you've got any advice for the series, especially in regards to the skill points and things like that, please let me know. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you are too. And I think that's about it. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.